the reason we were in fact born to the same family is because we are soulmates. But Ralph comes back half man, half horse. What is going on?
Let's switch this up.
Welcome to my channel. My name is Kim and welcome. Today I'm going to be talking about a book. Okay, the first time I did this I was talking about my book. I will link that somewhere. And yeah, I'm gonna talk about like the most unhinged, the craziest, this book I feel like altered my whole freaking brain chemistry, because I was like, what every single chapter I was like, what is going on? Yeah bro, I literally and go a little bit because I noticed a bald spot on my head and I don't know what that means, and I'm not in it. Ooh, that serves as good lighting a bit. But I have this. I wrote my notes here because I'm gonna forget. Also, the book that I'm talking about is part of a trilogy, but I haven't gotten to like reading the trilogy, but I'm gonna read it. Yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself. My skin is breaking out, as you can see. I haven't been having a good time. I haven't been happy to be here for a bit, but now I'm happy to be here, you know. That's why I'm like all kitty and stuff, and I'm wearing my birthday dress. I've never worn it since my birthday, and that's insane to me. Anyway, let's just get into it. The book that we're going to talk about is White Acre by Philippa Gregory. Actually, Philippa, like, I discovered her last year. Yes, I discovered her last year with a Tudor book. I love those type of books. I love books that are from like a long time ago. I don't know what they're called. Are they called Tudor books? Well, they're about royalty from a long time ago, society. It's like Bridgerton type vibes, but in a book. I haven't read Bridgerton actually, which is crazy, but I love books like that. I love fiction in the olden days. Yeah, so Philippa Gregory writes like that, and I was not prepared from the jump that I made from, I don't remember the first book that I read by her. I was not prepared for the jump that I made from that book to this one, because Philippa, sweetie, what happened, you know? So the book is White Acre, and our main character is Beatrice Lacey, Beatrice, and her brother Harry, and then Ralph, which is Beatrice's love interest, and Cecilia, which is gonna come later in the book, but that is Harry's wife, love interest, right? Cool. So first starts off the story. It starts with Beatrice narrating how her first love was her dad, but I was like, and it don't. But okay, fine. She's like, I love my dad, and we have White Acre, which is like the estate farm. So White Acre, they own White Acre. It's her dad's property farm, and it's very rich, very lively, very, you know, they have workers. So she's very, from a young age, she's very like boyish. She doesn't like sitting and doing tapestry with her mom. She doesn't like gossip and making tea and whatever. She's like, I want to be outside. I want to be outside. And she does that. She's outside, she's living her life, and her dad like teaches her how to ride a horse and to do this and do that, and her dad loved her as well. She's like, my kid, Beatrice, I love you. Yeah, okay, cool. And then like the progression, you can hear that there's something that's going to change here. And then she's like, at one point her dad says, I can't imagine what life is going to be when you leave and get married. waqonda hey uthini married who, marry where, marry for what, marry who? Because my girl is not girly and she doesn't like doing those things, so she doesn't envision herself being married and leaving White Acre, because as much as she loves her dad, she loves the land, she loves everything about her home, about the farm, about the estate. She's all for it. And she has a brother, Harry, who went to London to study so that, you know, good marks and good brains and whatever. And the dad is like, Pera, the inheritance is gonna go to Harry because he's the male. And also she's the firstborn, I think. Is she the firstborn? I'm not sure, but I think so. So is I go Harry because Harry Mossy is the heir to the estate. I bet she's like, no, that's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna get married. And her dad like shrugs it off as, oh, you're just a kid, you don't know what you're talking about. As you grow, you're gonna have to get married. So ever since that day, that's the only thing she's thinking about. I'm not gonna leave. I'm not gonna leave. I'm not gonna get married. I don't want to leave my dad. I don't want to leave the home. I don't want to leave anything. Also, her mom obviously is one of those moms from back in the days who are like, sit down, do your tapestry, make this coffee, eat these biscuits, let's sit here and gossip. It's just like, no, I don't want to do that. So her and her mom, their relationship are not very like close and whatever. So she grows up, and then she's at the age where she has to get married, and she doesn't want to get married. So what she does in her stupid head that she thinks is the right thing to do for her to not leave. Okay, let's start here. This girl, I like her because she's progressive in a way of like, I don't want to get married. Why do I have to get married just because I'm a girl? You know, she's progressive in that way, but also freaking stupid in a way that makes her like kill people, incest, and I'm getting ahead of myself again. Her dad is out. They're having a meeting. I don't know if it's a meeting or it's whatever, where they're gonna discuss her getting married, and she freaking hires people to kill her dad. Because without her dad, the Lobola negotiations are not going through. Well, it was not Lobola negotiations, but you know, they're not going through. So her dad dies, everyone is at her house, and in the beginning she acts shocked, like, my dad, I love my dad, what am I gonna be without my dad, you know? And everybody goes there, they're like, oh my god, who did this to Mr. Lacey? Their surname is Lacey. Like, who did this to Mr. Lacey? And like the way he was killed was so brutal. Like, he was bitten with a club on his face. He fell off a horse because he was horse riding going home, and he died. And everyone was like, oh my god. And you know that thing about when people pass away, their things, their assets. Oh, my city, a person was a farmer, right? Or had a lot of chickens, and when they die, the chickens also just start dying for some reason. It's almost like they can sense that he's not there or they're not there. So the farm starts like regressing a bit. It starts not producing enough. It starts not doing this enough, and it's like, oh, this is going down a shithole. But then, because she has been in the business, she's seen her dad do these things, she's like, I'm gonna take over, because Harry is in London, right? So Harry is not here to take over. Like, Harry's in London, I'm gonna take over, and then, you know, do this, we're gonna get back on track. Okay, the people start loving her because she knows actually what she's doing and she's passionate about it. But Harry comes back, and when she comes back, there's this line. I was like, no. Harry comes back, and she's like, actually, why does he kinda, you know, look cute? I'm like, no, that's your brother. Beatrice, that's your brother. Beatrice, no. No, Beatrice, no. Harry has no backbone. Harry has to take over now because she's here. What his sister does is seduce Harry. This family abana hai. Oh, Harry, Beatrice is like, Harry, let's go riding the horses, because Beatrice knows how to ride the horses and stuff, whatever. They go riding the horses, and on the way they, like, we're in Beatrice's mind, and she's like, yeah, his muscles were popping out while he was riding the horse, the way that he was handling the saddle or whatever. And then they go into the grains. Is it grains? That one is Antozinde. Yeah. Ezi ingati, yeah, ezi zazivela kwi advert here with Bix. Ezi, yeah. They go there and then they do it. They sleep together. They copulate. They get together intimately. Incest. Sweet home Alabama. Sweet home what? They get together, and Beatrice, because she's the more assertive one, controlling one, she's like, get yourself together, we're not gonna tell this to anyone. Harry, I don't think while he was in London he had relations with the woman, because instantly he's crazy over her. It's like, I love you, I will do anything that you want me to do, I will serve you, my queen. I don't remember properly what it was, because actually I haven't read this book since last year, and I just recently downloaded the second book from the trilogy, which is why I remembered and wanted to talk about it, and so I wrote down little pointers to remember the important parts. So Harry is like, yeah, I love you, you're my soulmate. The reason we were in fact born to the same family is because we are soulmates. Guys, don't do this, hey? Please do not do incest. I promise you, there is someone better out there for you, and it's not your sibling. Leave them alone. Move on. Let's move on as well. So Beatrice, yeah, they get together. Also, Beatrice is in love with Ralph. You might remember Ralph, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Ralph from the dad's murder. So Ralph is a love interest to Beatrice, and Ralph is like from a very poor background with a single mom, who's not doing so well, and Beatrice loves him head over heels, thinking about him all the time. Ralph is also the same, but I think because of society and the hierarchy, they can't be together, so they're not together for a long time, but they also go to the grains and do it. Yeah, very liberated also. So she was progressive liberated as well. She did whatever the freak she wanted to do, but too much. Yima, pull self towards self, for once, but she didn't, alas. Okay, so she's in love with Ralph, and one day they're sitting in the grains, and she tells him, actually, Ralph, I want to own the estate by myself without anyone contesting me, and I think I'm gonna kill my dad. This is back before, and then Ralph did that for her, and then because now Ralph knows her secrets, they're like this. I think at some point the villagers start to see Nina, you're doing something. But they don't say anything because Beatrice is so authoritative. Like she owns the land that literally feeds everyone in the village. That's how big of a deal Whiteacre is to everyone. And the business starts going bankrupt. This is the part that I didn't like. They dragged this for a long time, and they kept saying it for a long time. And I thought maybe like, well, there is a reason to it, but they just overdid it in my opinion. They kept telling us the business is broke, that there's a broker from New York who's gonna come and discuss about selling the Whiteacre. And because we know Beatrice, that's not gonna happen. So what does she do? It ends up not being sold. So she has her first victim murder, which is her dad. Ralph is like, girl, since I know everything about you, I think we should go 50-50 on the business. But Ralph is starting something else, because why would you do that when you know she killed her own dad for the land? Why would you do it? Needless to say, she kills him. Yeah, this book is so crazy. Like, this is not even the half of it. You have to go through the motions while reading it, and it's like no one is safe. No one is safe. Like, you think, okay, she loves this person. No. Like, do not get attached to anyone because they will die. She will kill them. She sets a trap for him. Bro, this woman, so heartless. Sets a trap for him and then pretends to cry. So he comes out wanting to save Umtuwa, but they were like on the edge of being rivals because he could see that she didn't want to do it. And I think he was being careful about her for a while, and she could see that he's drawing away. So makahambi fast. You know? So she sets a trap for him. He goes into the trap, chops his legs off, and he dies. His mom comes out because he was screaming in pain, comes out and he's gone because Beatrice set a trap for him. Okay, we move on. Now Beatrice is like alone in the land. Nobody wants to contest her. I think everyone in the village now actually is also starting to see that. Why is everyone around you dying? That is suspicious. Like, what is happening to everyone around you? And then everybody just starts being afraid of her. She starts she's still sleeping with her brother, and like she's pulling the reins because her mom is still alive, and she's like, she wants Harry to, like, you know, so you're gonna do this, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do this. So she's in charge. She's like fully in charge. But when the mom is there, they pretend Harry is in charge, and they do that. So Harry is grown now, and Harry has to get married. Harry marries Cecilia, the only sane person so far in the book. I haven't read the other ones. Marries Cecilia, and Cecilia is instantly like irked by Beatrice because why are you always in my business like that? Why do you guys go riding by yourselves so many times like that? And she talks to someone about it. I don't remember who. She talks to someone and she's like, I think something weird is going on here. But they still keep doing it. They keep like secretly stealing themselves and going to have sex in the grains and whatever. And the business is still going bankrupt as well. The business is going down. Also in the beginning, Harry was defined as someone who had like a strong build and muscle man, tan, whatever. But yeah, that happens. So now Harry cool almost, and as Harry is growing, he's gaining weight, and he's, and Beatrice is like, I don't like that actually. why are you like that? I don't know, Beatrice. Maybe people grow. Shut the fuck up, maybe, perhaps. Yeah. And Beatrice is like I should have done this in the beginning. She's like a beautiful lady with red hair. That's Ginger. You know, I always used to think when they said like people that have red hair literally have red hair, but they ginger. They have orange-ish hair. So she's like that. She's beautiful with green eyes, you know. She's cutie, very cutesy. I will not say the other word. And yeah, very beautiful. Yeah, Cecilia gets married, Beatrice gets pregnant, and then she terminates it. And she gets pregnant again, and they pretend that the child is Celia's child. I don't know. They went away on a vacation of some sort. They went somewhere on a boat because they didn't want the villagers. Yes, they didn't want the villagers to see that Beatrice is pregnant because also, like, the child is gonna come out looking like Harry or something, of course. So so they go away and they pretend Beatrice's child is Cecilia's child. Cecilia also gets pregnant, so there's 2 kids now, and they're siblings. There's 2 kids and they're siblings. We're moving really fast. I'm getting lost also. So these children are siblings and they're very happy kids and whatever. Because the mom is still alive, right? Now Harry and Beatrice are not being very careful. Their mom and Cecilia are very close. They're very, very close. So Cecilia always spends time with her, doing the tapestry, doing all the girly things, because Cecilia is into that kind of stuff. But Harry no, Beatrice would be together in the sitting room, sipping on some bourbon. They'll be sipping on some bourbon and, you know, talking about business. But now they're feeling a little bit freaky. They want to take risks and they start doing it at home near the fireplace. Guess who walks in? Guess who walks in and who's next on the murder list? Their mom. Agasindanga. I hate to spoil it for you. Agasindanga. The mom walks in on them having their, and then she just has a heart attack. They lay her to bed and they keep nursing her up, and she keeps saying, Uba, Haibo, under my roof. Why would you guys do that? You know, why would you guys do that? And she's very hysterical, understandably. Very hysterical, very angry, very sad about what her kids are doing. Because of that, the relationship is just not great. There's some medicine for her. She drinks this medicine sometimes. They take turns in like taking care of her. Through that, Cecilia finds out about them, and her whole thing is, I'm gonna take care of the kids. The kids will be taken care of because of me, you know. I want to protect them from you evil bitches. And Cecilia finds out through the mom because she's like, she keeps saying it over and over. And then because they take turns in medicating her, this girl Beatrice gets tired of her mom like keeps saying things over and over again, and she's like, you know what, actually I'm gonna give you an overdose. Bye Miss Lacey. Bye Mrs. Lacey. I love you. See you in the next life. Kills her mom. So she killed her mom, killed her dad, killed the love of her life, literally, because they keep saying it like they love each other, they feel like they're soulmates, whatever. But plot twist, plot twist because because everyone keeps dying. Ralph did not die. Ralph did not die. He lost his legs for sure, but he didn't die. And because of that, because he saw that his life was in danger, he moved to a different place. And I don't know how the fuck this happens, but Ralph comes back half man, half horse. What is going on? What is going on? Half man, half horse? And she keeps like dreaming of him, having nightmares about him, like coming to her and saying, why would you do that to me? I thought we were in this together. Messy stuff. I thought we were in this together. And then she'd wake up and she started being grumpy, started being mad at everyone. She's like, she lost any glimpse of that young girl who was loving her dad. She shot someone literally on the field where they worked because that person was like, we need equal pay. We need you to pay us what we used to get when your dad was still the owner of this place. And we need to, apparently during harvest time, when harvest was done, they would take some of the harvest to their homes. So now she doesn't do that anymore because the estate is running broke. So she keeps everything to herself, and that in turn makes everyone else like very poor and unable to fend for their families, because that harvest time was what kept everyone going, kept everyone being happy. So people would try to steal from the harvest, and she killed anybody that came close to her inheritance, even if webe is kwebo esi1 sombona. If you take just one corn kwebo, what is it, one? Bye. So everyone now hates her because she's unfair and she doesn't want to be told by anyone. So people are not really like rooting for her, but they have no choice because White Acre provides for everyone. Even though it's providing nuts right now, they just have to take it because they have nothing else. But then rivals from another part of the place, they start coming with maize meal, giving people, and then we're going to find out later that it is in fact Ralph's people. When she was pregnant, wait, I think I forgot to say this. When Beatrice was pregnant, that was not Harry's child. I forgot. The child was Ralph's child. Yeah, I think the bingo got off. I don't remember. I will add notes where I forgot to say the proper thing. But yeah, that happened, and she keeps having like intense nightmares. At some point, she opens her eyes and Ralph is really there. She's not dreaming anymore. But because now she's been having so many nightmares, she's not sure whether she's hallucinating or if this nigga is really here. But after a few days, so yeah, she discovers that Ralph is alive, and they used to have like this cutesy little thing of meeting. Her room was upstairs and he'd be on the ground floor because he used to work there, because he was a peasant and he used to work there. So he used to like bring her flowers like on the ground floor, and she'd peek out and it's like, oh, I love you, Ralph, I love you so much, we're going to do great things together. So now, because it's like freaking dystopia, Ralph comes along under the window I don't think that's the right word to use, but uyeza pha enxifika emxelelwa wena ke tlo greya wena ke tlo greya sa ke get low tall, get low tall. Now she's afraid and she's like planning to like take him out before he does it for her. So then it leads up to the, I feel like this is the part that is supposed to be the hottest point. What is it called? I forgot what it's called. But that's supposed to be the build up to this big ass fight that they're gonna have. And in this, on that day off, Cecilia and Harry, because Harry doesn't know how to make decisions for himself, he listens to everything a woman around him says. Cecilia is like, we have to go. So he goes with Cecilia and the kids are safe, and then there's just Beatrice in the house. And then half man half horse comes and they're standing outside her door with his gang, because he has a whole gang now. He's a leader of the pack. He's a man. He's a man. Black man with power. Period. So he goes there and they have this little telepathic or real life discussion, and they fight with knives, and he has a sword, and they end up just killing each other. They both die at the end. I think I was a bit angry at the end for some time, because I was like, all this build up for you to just die. Yeah, but the setup for the sequel, for the second book, is that the kids come back to Whiteacre, and I get it, there's 2 kids. So they come back to Whiteacre, and one of the kids has a gleam in his eyes, and I think that's Meridon, has a gleam in his eyes where he's like, I want this land. I want to claim everything that's in it. I want to, I want to be in there. So that's where it ends, with the child having a glimmer of mischief in his eyes and being like, I want this land and it belongs to me. I'm not gonna go anywhere. And that's the book. That's the first book. I don't know how I did with this, because sometimes I think I'm not very good at explaining things the proper way. My mind just goes there and there. It's just busy. So if you're interested in the book, you can read it. It's Whiteacre by Philippa Gregory, and the sequel to it is The Favorite Child, and the third one is Meridon. If you read it, we'll be reading together, because I'll be reading The Favorite Child as well. But depending on how much I like this video, I'm gonna do another one, or I'm not gonna do another one. I'm gonna suss out what's happening. Yeah, that's it. I'm so tired from talking. Been talking for 38 minutes straight, and naturally I'm a yapper. I'm a person who talks a lot. Are you aware? I'm always here. I'm always yapping so much, and it's crazy because to people who don't know me, that's probably like, girl, why are you like that? But yeah, and yeah, that's it. I'll see you again next week. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and follow me on my social media, which I'm gonna put on the screen, and follow my crochet page as well. I made this dress from scratch. Call me Nora Smith, but for crochet, period. Please follow my page.